Oh, man. Sorry I was so fucking grumpy today. I'm much better now. I think it was, as we started, I was like, I don't want to do this again right now. I was just like,
right.
In my head, I was like, Ryan, you're 30. There's a life to live. What are you doing?
Welcome to No One Can Know About This, a podcast where we play every Final Fantasy game. I'm Jeff Ekman.
And I'm Ryan Kazmiski.
And here we are, episode 5, our penultimate episode of the season.
Episode 5. We're in the home stretch. We're so close.
It's like you can taste it. We're so close, we're convinced that this is our last day.
Yeah, we really thought maybe we will beat the game today.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Perhaps we will beat the game in this episode. This could be the finale.
Wait and see what happens.
And see
You have to listen to the end or you won't know. Right? That's how this works, isn't it? Suspense. Because obviously you're listening to this to hear us beat the game.
Yeah, you're definitely listening to this to know what happens at the end of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's...
That's why would anybody listen to this? Except to find out.
For all we know, maybe no one will listen to this. Maybe we will have done all this and it'll be on iTunes and there will be only bots from Tanzania will have downloaded it.
Well, yeah.
That's possible, right?
It is possible. Bots from Tanzania are probably bigger fans of this game.
Probably better at it than we are.
Definitely. So, what do we say about this episode? This is the second half of day 3.
This is the end of day 3 right here. And the setup, I'd say, is we spent a lot of the day sort of globe-trotting and doing things to get items to be able to, do the final dungeons. You gotta get a cube, you gotta get the Oxy Ale, you gotta get... And
it's a new item loop.
Yeah, you get an item loop, and we've basically done that whole loop.
So now it's time to go do it.
Yeah.
Are you all ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I don't know. Ask me one more time.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is the culmination of the fruits of your labor today. You got this dungeon that's coming.
Oh yeah, the fruits of my labor is a lot more labor.
Yeah, you do this one.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm 1,000% ready. I feel like that will wind up doing a thing where I'm 1,000% ready.
And then it's just we just got to...
No, I can't. Not again. So we got all the items we needed, we board the submarine, and we head to the sunken shrine. No, I'm not doing it like that.
Like what?
I'm leaving, man. I'm getting out of here. What I meant was that I was gonna go back to the beginning of the dungeon and explore it methodically rather than haphazardly.
It's a good idea.
At least have some bearings. What I'm trying to do at this point is the fireman's technique of you just find a wall and you hug it and you just go around no matter how dark the smoke is in the building.
I mean, from what I remember, it pays off for you too. You just steamroll this place.
Nail it.
Sea troll and lobsters. Those are just blue scorpions.
It's been a while since we polished an orb, so this is good because we spent all day not polishing orbs, so
right.
This is a place to polish an orb.
Our orbs are dirty.
They're just filthy orbs.
I'm excited to be in another dungeon again. I'm excited that I was okay, we got the airship, which we kind of knew was coming because of the clues earlier in the game, and then when we got here, it was a robot gave us a cube to a castle in the sky and a submarine. So things kept getting a little weirder. There is an escalation that they're going for that kind of works.
Yeah, it does kind of work. I mean, this is a truly different looking place.
Yeah.
Man, at this point, our bar could not be lower. Anything would clear this bar.
Yeah, a different color, and we're oh, hey.
Oh, a different brown.
I mean, this place is purple. The fire mines were brown.
Red and brown.
Red.
Yeah, reddish.
The ice cave was gray.
The ice cave was gray. So, we're going to play for you guys what it's like after every single individual battle. No matter how small it is, you have to, after the battle is over, do this.
The fact that this needs to be done after, like, every fight is so insane.
It's terrible. Our characters at this point have like 600 hit points, and after a battle, we'll be down to like 100 hit points, and each heal heals only 30 hit points. So you have to do it each time over and over again to get them all the way up to 600. This is insane. It's worth not playing this game just for this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big enough reason to not play it, having to do this. Mm-hmm. That this is the only way to heal, really. Like, you have to do this.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. There's no other heal potion. That blows my mind.
Wow, this place is big. This is my nightmare of rooms inside of rooms.
Hello.
Whoa.
So we're in the sunken shrine, and another room full of rooms, but inside each one of these rooms is a little mermaid, and each one of them is saying crazy shit. You have responded to me.
What?
What, dude? What is happening? You're in their homes?
Oh, we're like in their village.
What do you have to say?
If we cannot regain the power of water, we will become bubbles.
And then disappear. Wow. My friend Daryl went to the land, then never returned. I've often wondered what happened. Maybe she grew legs, walked away. Oh my god! All those people in that town were like, how awesome is it to have legs? Look at my beautiful legs.
You're right. What? Oh, I thought that was just like bad translation nonsense.
No, it's like good story
were mermaids.
shit. They were mermaids, and we hadn't discovered the mermaid land yet.
Oh, wow.
Are we just in their town?
This is the shrine's top floor. The fiend of the water kraken lives on the bottom floor.
Well, it's like, you're in the wrong place.
Wait, to unlock the Mirage Tower...
The Lefinish used a musical tone.
So this is another case of, like, item misdirection.
Right.
Just like it seems like we should use the floater for things that we don't use it for, we've had this loot the whole game, and we're
Right.
told that to open the dungeon after the one we're in, we need to play a tone.
A musical tone.
But not with the loot.
Not the loot's tone.
There's another thing we get that has another tone. It's just, like, insane.
Not
Why
a loot, but a flute. Or
No, it's a
something.
chime.
It's a whatever. Fucking Jesus.
But, like, if you were playing this game without any way to look stuff up, it's another case of you would just keep going here and trying this thing going, how can this not be it? How is this not the solution? I don't understand.
I was trying to sort of describe to myself, like, why was that moment when we found out that the people up there grew legs and stopped being mermaids?
Right.
Like, I thought about it and I was like, that's not really cool. That's, like, what are you talking... They stopped... they
Right,
grew legs
yeah,
and
wait.
stopped being
It just,
mermaids?
that's all it was. The breath of fresh air of it not just being a guy being like, my town's under attack.
Yeah, and normally you talk to someone in the town and they're like, hooray! Or they're like, or they just say...
And this one was
"West
like,
of
are we
here
gonna
is a
turn into
cave.
bubbles?
Are we going to turn into bubbles?
I mean, that was kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, yeah, this world, it's like...
So I was a dramatic writing student in college, and I had this required course that was a Shakespeare for Writers course. One of, like, the only times that I was actually in the class, he said something that, like, kind of struck me. Like, I didn't believe it at the time. I literally didn't believe it. What it is that Shakespeare, when his characters would start to mentally break down and kind of, like, become angry or something like that, he would break iambic pentameter. So, like... they were speaking in this very specific cadence, and then he was breaking that cadence as they would break. And I was like, no way. Who would think that detailed about, like, I was literally like,
you sound like a writer who knows a lot about writing at the
right,
time.
like, fucking Jesus. I was like, I want to do entertainment. But so, like, I've started to see this in life all the time, where, like, people, as they're kind of breaking down, are like, they interrupt themselves in sentences a lot. like it's a thing that you kind of do as you're struggling with something, is like you can't really string a full, like, you still get the thoughts out, like, literally I just did
You're just doing it to yourself now.
Exactly.
You're breaking down.
I'm breaking down.
You're falling apart, Jeff.
I can't speak in iambic pentameter anymore.
Are there any, like, reality TV shows where it's, like, fishing but with rednecks, where they, like, fish with toasters and stuff?
I don't know if it's like they fish with toasters, but there's definitely fishing with rednecks.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're like, what you're gonna want to do is just throw the electricity there in the water, and then there's all the shrimps and the things on the bottom that float up to the surface. And you just skip them off, and you take them home and you throw them in a pot, and you got yourself a gumbo.
It's by electrocuting the water around the fish.
You never heard of this? It's illegal in most places, but yeah, you can just, like,
It's a real thing
you just
that people
electrocute the water, and it stuns all the fish, and they just float up, and then you just, like, scoop them up.
Jeez,
Yeah,
man.
you take a car battery with you in your boat, and you, like, hook up, like, a pole to it, and
Whoa,
you stick it in the water.
That's insane.
You've never, yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Well, like, I figured you could maybe do that, but I didn't know that was, like, a thing that people
There's
do.
a method. Let me find out what it's called.
Oh,
it's
God.
like
Electrofishing? Jeez.
electrofishing. You got it. Dead on.
I knew it.
Electrofishing uses direct current electricity flowing between a submerged cathode and anode. This affects the movement of the fish so that they swim toward the anode where they... Wait, this is not what I'm thinking of. This is, like, way more sophisticated.
I don't think that there's any reality shows about that kind of thing.
I don't know why I thought there would be.
Well, because if it's obviously, like, heavily illegal, like, they, you know.
This show's about moonshiners.
Yeah, that's not really illegal.
No, it really is.
It is?
Yes.
They don't have shows about crack makers.
No, they don't.
I don't stand by any of these comments. I don't know if any of this is true. I'm just, like, talking to hear myself talk at this point.
It sounds like you're true. I believe you.
It might be true. It might be. It might be. I do know that moonshine is illegal. You're not allowed to sell and make liquor at your house. It's not okay.
But battery fishing.
Battery fishing is regulated. Fishing is regulated usually.
There's
right?
a fish and game
Exactly.
commission.
And I think they frown on throwing batteries in lakes.
I bet they do.
Yeah, this upgrade all the upgrading we did in the first half of the day has really paid off. This is way. You know what's funny is I sort of feel now about it, like, yesterday we were like, wow, the beginning of this game is terrible.
Yeah.
And now that we have all this stuff, I'm like, the middle of this game is horrible. This is a nightmare. Like, it's like every time it gets slightly better, I'm like, before you get the airship, it sucks.
Every single time you get anything in this game, you look back and you go, I was living like that? It's like if you lived in an apartment with no windows, and then, like, somebody knocked a hole in your wall, you would be like, whoa, it's so much nicer in here now. I can't believe I lived without windows for so long.
The funniest possible turn of events would be if it's like, you know what's my favorite Final Fantasy? After all this,
if you're like, I think I like the first one the best. I feel like that's impossible.
It's no way that's gonna happen.
It really is like we stopped being like little adventurers, and now we're like gods with all-powerful items, just walking through here, like holding up crystals and pieces of metal, going like, ah, and they're just like
Two bright shining orbs.
two bright shining orbs. Swinging big,
Swinging strong.
smacking against all the enemies right in the
Clacking.
chin, just clacking together. Dripping with that magic juice.
Still glistening.
So we get back on a discussion about mazes because it's our favorite topic.
There's nothing else to talk about at this point.
I mean, there's something kind of fun about that, the like map building exercise you do in your mind.
Yeah.
How fun is exact? I mean,
Well, that's the thing, like,
it's fulfilling. It's better than fun.
well, it's exercising your mind.
Yeah. I'd love to see like an interview with someone who's like a very like an Oxford type man, like an Oxford man.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, to keep my mind sharp, I have a book of mazes. And he just sitting there with a pencil. He just does mazes.
Well, I do think that, like, you might find somebody who says, I draw mazes.
Yeah, you would definitely find smart people who design mazes.
Yeah, smart people probably design mazes for dumb people to do.
Right. The dumb people are like, can't find the way out.
Keep trying, you will. Yeah, because they put rats in a maze, and then they just look at them and go, yeah, that rat's not very smart. Get another rat. Like this,
another
like,
rat.
like it's just a test, a baseline test.
Are
They
you
put it-
smart enough to walk to a place?
Yeah, that's... Did we just crack it? Is that what a maze is for? It's not about enjoyment. It's like a IQ
It's a test?
Yeah,
It's like-
an IQ test from the Victorian age or something.
It might be.
I just...
But it's like,
Yeah.
people like word problems. People like... I don't know.
This place is pretty epic. This is pretty
This is
huge.
really great.
There we go.
Oh, hello. The fiend's ball is shattered, evaporating all the water. Ho, 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 how foolhardy to dare challenge me. Kraken, the fiend of the water. They call themselves the fiend?
Yeah.
Okay.
They own it, you know?
They own it.
Polished the stone.
Stone polished.
There we go. Look at that.
3 orbs polished. Look at, they all look so shiny. Only one left to go. We got a lot of money.
Man.
Wow. Here we go. Off to the races. So, okay, where are we at? We gotta go to the Mirage. That's it.
Yeah, I think.
We're at the end of the game.
Yeah, there's one dungeon
There's
left.
one dungeon left, one orb to polish, and there's nothing standing in between us and doing it.
We got that 3rd orb, dude. We're like really, I mean, lights at the end of the tunnel for real.
But I think we should try to beat this tonight, right?
I would.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's close enough and, like...
I'm alive and kicking again. I'm fully back.
It's 9.
When we picked this up on Thursday, I didn't think we'd be finishing it on Saturday.
Yeah. Well... We are.
No, we're not.
The slab.
Slab.
That was the thing I was
Who
thinking
wanted
of.
the slab?
We needed to, it's to translate the town.
Oh yeah. Damn it.
Welcome to Final Fantasy.
Hope you like to walk, even when you have a ship that flies.
Man, I just glanced over at the screen and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not doing that right now.
I'm not exactly happy that I'm doing it right now. I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I mean, this guy might not even be here. Not taking another step until we know where this guy is.
Once you obtain the slab, you can pursue a series of tasks. That will lead you to... I just wanted to stop there. I don't want to read anymore.
Alright, I'll pursue it.
Holy shit.
So we look it up and we find out that we got to go to the town of Melmond to get a slab translated so we can understand this town.
First of all, saying go to the town of Melmond is unhelpful, because none of the
Yeah.
towns, like, they don't have names in the game.
Yeah, I mean, there is one town where somebody's like, hey, welcome to Gaia.
Well,
but
yeah,
everywhere
or
else
welcome
is
to
like,
Elfland, but it's still like it's not like there's a gate when you walk in that says "Welcome to
Melmond.
Melmond is graveyard.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
What?
I mean,
There's a professor there?
I think.
Okay. It will allow you to pursue a series of tasks. God damn it. We were like, we're almost done. We're just gonna go there and we'll be done.
Oh man.
Okay, he's in here somewhere, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Are you the Light Warriors?
Well, you have become fine warriors. Well.
That's your favorite
he's my
guy.
favorite.
I'm a farmer.
He's the best.
So yeah, we should probably give a shout out to our favorite NPC in the entire game. I'm a farmer guy.
Yeah, we didn't do it earlier when we first found him, but now that we're revisiting the town, now's as good a time as any.
He's the best. He's my favorite. He's so simple. I understand him. I know what he wants. I know what he needs.
He's a farmer.
He's a farmer.
And he needs to tell you about it.
I'm a farmer.
A slab!
Oh!
This slab will lead us to solve the riddle of the finish. Wait, do we know it now?
Oh. Just pacing around a little bit, stretching out my arms. Not looking at the screen.
Man, I'm in such a weird place. It's like I've finally stopped playing and I'm just like pacing around the apartment like fuck.
Aren't you just so glad you're not playing though?
I'm like trying not to look at the screen.
Yeah.
The blood flowing.
Yeah. Bring
Actually,
yourself
feels
back
great.
to life.
Feels great. Step outside for a second.
Yeah, I stepped aside. I was like, feels nice out here. And you're like, nothing feels good.
No, now it feels nice out here.
Right?
It does.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice. It's totally nice. I was totally in a place where I was just like, oh, this is awful.
Doesn't feel nice
It doesn't
to me.
feel nice.
Well, I mean, this game, like, this morning, I think we were talking, I was like, I don't feel anything. I feel like it's gone. Oh, let's see what they have to say.
So we went and we learned the ancient language.
Yep.
Which I want to point out isn't ancient because people are alive who speak it. But anyway, we learned the ancient language and we went and talked to the people who speak it. And
they've got a bunch of crazy shit to say.
yeah,
It's a big story dump.
Some things come into focus, some things move out of focus.
Time is about to get really weird.
Yeah.
It goes through this short period of time where things make less sense before they make more sense.
Before they make less again.
Before they make less again.
Yeah.
You're right.
We are the Finish. Only our bravest became sky warriors. Your A-ships was theirs.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are supposed to be that kind of an accent.
Borgish. Oh, the light the warriors. The legion is true. At the time of destruction, a legend was born. In 400 years, warriors with orbs will appear to save our people.
Why?
Wait,
Why?
I thought the time of destruction was 200 years
Where
ago.
did the orbs? There was definitely something that was 200 years ago. I was about to say
Well, that
too.
town was like, we used to be prosperous
Like
200
until 200 years
ago.
ago.
Maybe the time of destruction was 400 years ago for them. You know what this game has none of? There are no cinematics in this game. Like, there's no... The screen pauses, your dude walks over, someone walks over to you and talks to you.
The closest it had was the opening title.
No
cinematic.
part where, like, anyone approaches you and explains something to you. 400
that's-
years ago, we had an advanced civilization. Our interest was the universe. What is it now? What happened?
But Ryan, here's the thing.
How
like,
could you lazy fucks let this happen?
Ryan, life doesn't take you by the hand and lead you down a predetermined pathway. You need to decide who you're going to talk to and what you're going to learn
Right,
from.
but sometimes people come talk to me. Like, I
You're right. Sometimes,
don't, you know, like
once in a while, people come and talk to me.
I don't live in a world where there's
Where
people just
the
standing
only
around
time-
and none of them are speaking to each other, and I
You're
have
totally
to
right.
approach all
You're
of them.
totally like
Until 400 years ago, we controlled the power of the wind. The This enabled us to suspend the castle in the air. Well, it sounds like you're really letting your ancestors down, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
You're blowing it.
The floating castle floats high in the sky, seemingly among the stars. I wonder if the robots made by our ancestors are still moving? All of you seem to remember that they just all say...
That's all you're talking about.
400 years.
That, like, it's everybody's
400 years.
forgotten.
What happened? Can you tell me?
We've definitely found towns that's talking about shit that happened 200 years ago, and everyone in this town is talking about shit that happened 400 years ago, and we're confused by this, but also, boy, it's the only thing on their lips.
I mean, it's like they're an isolated town that doesn't get a lot of visitors, and all they can do is make excuses for why it's so shitty. There's like no store, there's no clinic, but they're like, I mean, 400 years ago, we were something.
We were pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
don't judge us by this today. Look at the castle in the sky. We did that.
We did that thing, I think.
400 years ago.
The wind began to rot.
Fuck, man. The wind rot.
The floating castle. Our ancestors lived there.
Yeah, our ancestors live there, but we don't. We're just a bunch of dicks that live down here on the ground like you assholes. Like, we used to be awesome.
Our last 5 warriors left to find the cause of the world's decay. We know they live, but as bats.
What? As bats.
Now, this is important. Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How do you know that?
Okay, so they had 5 warriors. We're 4. Their warriors are bats now. It could be any of... Do you think,
those the key
do you
keys?
think 5 of the bats in the world that we just... If we had talked to the right ones, some of them...
No
Do
way.
we have to track down the 5 warriors?
No way. No.
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 And so begins our trek to talk to every bat in this land. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, we don't do it.
With this chime,
Are
you can
you
enter
fucking
the Mirage
what?
Tower.
Just one of the dudes. One of the dudes.
One of the dudes.
One of the dudes. Not on both sides. Like,
Tiamat took the power of wind, so is there no wind on this planet? I noticed that there's only one waterfall. Like, this is a really... Okay, get out of my way. Well, I can't say that I'm glad I speak your language now. That was...
so the music that they're playing to get into the thing that we heard about was a chime.
It was a chime.
Not the musical instrument.
Not the
that we
musical,
have.
not the other musical instrument we already have, no. That...
Like, what the fuck?
We still don't know what that's used for.
Using the chime, we enter the final dungeon to reclaim the wind.
And be done with this game.
Yeah.
We're in it. We're in the final dungeon.
At this point, I
You really believed it.
believed it.
Always assume that the light you see at the end of the tunnel is actually miles further. And that it's just real bright.
Maze, 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 maze.
It looks different.
Maze, 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 maze.
Doesn't seem so bad.
So we took a short break to eat some food, and we wound up on quite the conversation about the movie The Founder, with Michael Keaton as Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's.
Sort of the founder, the thief who stole McDonald's.
That's what he's better known as.
Yeah.
I mean, we debated for a really long time what to do with this conversation,
We've definitely thought about if this should be in the podcast.
and we've decided, yep,
Most definitely
it should be
it's
in
a
the
yes.
podcast. So strap in.
He's like trying to sell the shake machine, and everyone, and he's trying to tell them all. He's like, "You could be more successful if you wanted." And they're like, "Sorry, I don't believe in success." and then he's like going to these places, the drive-ins, and he's always like checking his watch, going like, "I've been waiting here for half an hour," and like the order is wrong. He calls them. He's like, "I think there was a mistake. You wanted." 6 of my machines.
That's right.
And they're like, yeah, better make it 8.
Yep.
And then he turns up and walks up to the window and he orders and they hand him the food and he's like, curiosity-inspiring, like, what is this magical thing plays? And he's like, but no, I just ordered. And he's like, yeah, and there's your food. And he's like...
It's a really important moment in American business history.
And he says, well, do I have plates or cutlery? He's like, you just eat it out of the bag. Throw it away. The idea that in today's climate, because everyone's like, we're making too much trash, you know? And then he's like, you just throw it all in the trash. And then he's like, well, where do I eat it? He's like, your car, the park.
Yeah, that's right. The guy like takes the time.
You like, yeah.
Yeah, the way it's presented in the movie is it's like, what a great idea. You just eat out of a bag in your car, and then the bag is trash, and you could throw it away. You could leave it in your car. It's like presenting this lifestyle that we've all seen and know of, like, you just eat in your car like a fucking animal because you don't have any time on your lunch break, and your car
Eat it
gets
out of the
trashed.
bag, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, but it's presented as like this amazing new way of life. Like, we can eat like this now. It's insane. The movie is crazy.
The clerk is like, I know, ma'am. We're changing the world.
Like, before there was fast food, eating was terrible and
Right.
hard. And then, like, McDonald's came.
Right. Did you see the sequence where they like set up McDonald's
On the tennis
on
court.
the tennis court? That's like a true story.
I want to jump in right now and mention we're not even eating McDonald's.
What are we eating?
I think we were eating Burgerim. That burger tastes a lot like a Whopper, and so it got us on to fast food on that level.
Oh, right. They were like, this is our better version of the fast food burger.
Right. I was
Yeah.
like, it tastes like a Whopper, but a higher quality.
Right.
One of the things that got me early on that I was like, oh, and that's why McDonald's is struggling is like, they're like, no, all we do is make like these 4 things.
I love your premise here that McDonald's is struggling.
Dude, I've heard like multiple pieces on NPR's Marketplace about how McDonald's is like not competitive anymore and they're closing stores.
I just don't believe it.
I'm not making it up. I know it looks like they're doing super well, but they're not doing as super well as they were like in the 90s, you know?
And now you go to McDonald's, and if you're not ordering what you usually get, you're like, maybe I'll try something else. You look at the menu, and you're like, never mind. Like, I'm not, like, what? It's got like 1 billion things on it.
I mean, the core items have stayed this. There's like 9 or 10. I mean, there's probably like 15 when you look at like the fine print.
Yeah, just like 15 core items.
Yeah, what Jeff, when you have 15 core items, like that's huge.
What am I talking about?
The McDonald's menu is more complicated and in-depth than this entire game we're playing.
That is really true.
That's
That's really true.
But, alright, you're right. There's a lot going on.
Well, I heard a marketplace thing about it. The food it's like not even that good, and they can't even be cheap anymore because they have so many menu items that like the price of everything goes up.
Have you seen what happens at some McDonald's now when you order inside and you say you're staying there?
No.
They bring you your food on like a fucking cutting board. Like it's like a...
What?
Yeah, like it's like an artisanal thing.
What are they mixing the guac tableside? What
No.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, they have like a wooden board and they like bring out the food on it. They give you like a number.
They don't hand you the fucking tray and you
Some
walk
of
to
them
your
are still
thing?
like that, but they had like I've been in like test McDonald's because
No.
no, I'm serious because I'm telling you, like their ideas because you've seen the menu. They've now
Right.
added these like artisanal burgers.
Right.
Have you tried them?
No.
They're terrible. You know why? Because they're not artisanal. You can't just put a fucking Big Mac on a cutting board and add sriracha to it
and call it
and
artisanal.
and no one's gonna be fooled by it and charge like $8. Like right now, we're eating the Burger M,
Yeah, the actual higher quality
actual
fast
higher
food.
quality fast food,
And which I think
It's
their
just-
slogan's like good food, fast.
exactly
Right.
Yeah,
Not
the wacky shit McDonald's is trying to keep customers is sad.
Wow, I'm completely unaware of that because I have only gone through the drive-thru.
Maybe that's why you feel like they're doing well. If you go inside, it's like a sad scene. Half the people in there don't have shoes.
You know, like our age, like the movie Richie Rich, he had a McDonald's in his house.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like awesome. There's only 5 items I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is the Big Mac.
Yeah,
Like that's really why
that's
I
why
show
I
up.
go. Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Like, what if they opened a McDonald's that the menu was the cheeseburgers, like the Big Mac, the double cheeseburger, and the quarter pounder, or whatever.
I want to have them spicy McChicken though.
And the chicken sandwiches and fountain drinks and fries, and that's it. No breakfast,
nuggets?
none of it. I'm saying, what if hold on, let me finish my pitch.
All right.
It's like these sandwiches and the fries, and it's like half the price that you pay normally. Like, I would go there every time.
But all the other shit being like a fillet of fish.
A fillet of fish, no fillet of fish, no McCafe nonsense.
Right. The breakfast all day.
All the breakfast is gone.
Including at breakfast time?
Yeah, they don't even open until like 10 or 11 in the morning.
Like, their breakfast all day thing must be really...
Sure, okay, breakfast is complicated. I don't know.
You gotta have an Egg McMuffin. That's part of McDonald's. Or is it? You're
It
right.
doesn't have to be.
McDonald's is a burger place.
I mean, think outside the bun or whatever, or back inside of it. I don't know, but you know,
Just think around it.
think around the bun.
I'm not saying that necessarily get rid of everything, but
No,
I would
I
go-
go fully stripped down. What you're saying is turn McDonald's into In-N-Out.
yeah. But like In-N-Out is still like In-N-Out
Knows the
get
reason
better
it works.
food for around the same price as McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how cheap McDonald's food could be.
I mean, dream big, kids. You know, imagine it.
Just imagine.
Imagine how cheap it could be.
You could buy like 20 cheeseburgers for like $5.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I go there, there's a line in the drive-thru.
Yep.
Like, how much money do they need to make to be doing well?
They probably wouldn't lower their price, but
Yeah.
it would lower the cost. Mm-hmm. And I think that they would make more money.
Hey, we've got ideas, McDonald's.
Yeah.
If you want to get at us, hire us on as consultants.
Yeah.
We're obviously not up to much. We're just sitting here spitballing.
We could be the new Ray Kroc.
Ground up.
Ground up. Ground beef.
Ground up, ground beef. That's like the new
That's our new slogan.
Put that on some boards, put it in a conference room.
It's a ground up rewrite
Design-
of ground beef.
Ground up, ground beef. That's what we're going to tell all the employees in the corporate.
Right.
This is ground up, ground beef.
Yeah.
That's the new phase.
It's-
the new phase of
You
McDonald's.
pick it up from the ground.
Uh-huh.
It's on the ground, this beef.
The Big Mac is like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's like a staple. That wasn't there at the beginning.
Yeah, but it's like, that's what they are now.
That's the number one on their value meal. The number two is 2 cheeseburgers and fries.
Email
just
us.
email us at nocatpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we've got way better ideas than what if the Big Mac were bigger and smaller.
Yeah,
that's not an idea.
That's not
Come
an
on.
idea, guys. What if it was, a Grand Mac? Fuck you. And, okay, let's talk about the Grand Mac for a second.
Uh-huh.
This was terrible. Because, I always finish a Big Mac and I'm like, I want a little bit more Big Mac. And then when I was through the amount of a Big Mac of the Grand Mac, I was like, no more.
Yeah, it's too much.
No more.
You know what I always do is I go there and I get whatever that McDouble. I get a McDouble,
McDoubles are good.
but I get it with shredded lettuce and mac sauce, and it's basically a little Big Mac.
Oh, so you're
and
gaming
it's like
the system.
$1. Yeah.
Look, you've already done it. You've cheapened McDonald's and gotten the same Big Mac. You're a genius. McDonald's, stop listening to this because we don't want them to get around
credit.
that.
I read about it on the internet when I googled McDonald's hacks.
You Googled McDonald's
I
hacks?
was like, I want to know what you can do.
I don't think
I do order a fillet of fish.
I get their breakfast all the time. I'm just saying, if there was like a concept McDonald's restaurant that was like even slightly cheaper and the menu was small, I would
Would you drive past a McDonald's to pay slightly less for a McDonald's?
No, I wouldn't. You're right, I wouldn't. For this experiment, they have to be like right next to each other. Yeah, there's no way I would drive past a McDonald's to like a McDonald's 2 miles away.
That has like a 20 cents cheaper burger?
No, I would want it to be like $1 or $2 cheaper. Like
Overall?
a Big Mac if you get just the sandwich, is like $6.
No, it's not that much. Because I'm just saying, like, there are 2 all-beef patties.
You're right, there are 2 all-beef patties. But so in a double-double, there are 2.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they're comparable in price. But you're just saying that they're comparable in price, but one's better meat.
Yeah, like it. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know anything about it really, but it seems like the Big Mac is probably cheaper to make.
I bet you're right.
The scene I turned it off on was pretty funny because he franchises it out, and then he's like, "What am I going to do about quality control?" Because he goes there and he sees that they're putting lettuce on the burger.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What is happening here?"
I love it. I mean,
So we finished eating finally.
And we go back to the game.
We go back to the game.
I mean, you don't want them to get rid of the McGriddle.
I guess not. I don't really want them to change what they're doing. I'm just saying, in a hypothetical situation. I mean, for breakfast even, like, they could pare that down. Like, they sell breakfast burritos there. Like, they don't need to be buying tortillas. Like, what? They buy
They need
them...
to be buying McMuffins.
Yeah. And, like, you know, do they need pancakes?
They have pancakes. That's right. They have like a breakfast plate.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, who the fuck is ordering
getting the breakfast
plate?
You're eating the breakfast plate in your car? I don't think so.
No way. Like with a knife and fork,
Yeah,
you're
I
like
just-
cutting open pancakes? Anyway, let's talk about this for another 20 minutes. I'm just kidding. It's over. We're done talking about McDonald's, and I promise.
Haley, come here. Uh-oh. I feel it starting. She ate dinner and now she's wanting to play.
So Jeff, I think for the listener, we need to talk about Haley, your dog, a little bit here.
Yeah, we should let you know she's like a bird hunting dog, like by breed. Like she needs to run in the field every day. And she's been cooped up with us for like 3 days now.
And we've been ignoring her, staring at a screen, grumbling to each other about cheeseburgers.
and she just wants a little bit of attention.
She probably also is worried about us.
She's definitely
Like
worried
watching
about
us, like she can probably like smell and hear our heartbeats doing bad things. Like she can sense us deteriorating.
Right. Well, she's probably paying closer attention to our emotional states than we are, and like knows that like this is going bad. I need to do something. I need to help these people.
I need to help them.
She just did that and then looked at me like,
She's like,
so
hey.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean... Dude!
It happened.
What happened, do you ask?
Haley,
We're not playing with her. She's been asking us to play with her. She takes her squeaky ball, walks over to the Nintendo, lays down next to it, and like drops the ball like she's gonna just hang. And then one thing that she'll sometimes do is like nose around the ball, and she just nosed directly into the power button and turned off the machine.
It's okay, we saved right before we walked in here.
Haley, you literally
She
nosed
knew,
the power
she
button.
knew exactly what to do. She sat down and she did it.
She sat down and literally pressed the power button.
I'm gonna believe in my mind, in my reality, this controlled hallucination that we called life, that she knew what she was doing, and she hit the power button on purpose.
Because your theory is she saw us turn it on.
She's been watching us like hit this thing, and she can hear it click, and
Right.
she knows the screen comes on when we touch it. Like she's smart for a dog. I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibilities that your dog was like, if they keep doing this, they will die, and they will never throw the ball.
And they will never throw the ball.
Anyway,
If they keep doing this, I will never chase a ball.
like most things, the intent is totally trivial and doesn't matter. The
Fact is, she shut off the machine.
turned it off.
That was very bad. I'm keeping this. This is mine now. How much did we lose?
I don't know. Not that much. It's already kind of late. Are we finishing this now?
That was the idea.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm
Let's go.
about ready to get into it, too.
Let's go.
I can do
Let's
it.
go. Let's go. I can do it. I can do it too. We'll split it. It's dungeon. It's gonna be good.
We're at a point in playing this game now where like any excuse, I'm like, as we started playing, I sat down, I'm like, I'm ready to go, let's do this, and then this happens, and I'm like, you know what, maybe let's not, maybe
this is the universe telling us stop
like
for
ready to
tonight.
quit,
and
but-
I'm like, I so wanted it to be over that I'm like mad at the idea that we would come back and do it another day.
Thankfully, Jeff's determination is infectious.
I don't know if it's infectious. I like felt bad afterward because
Well,
I
it
realized
works.
I like looked back on this and I was like, I forced him to stay. I look at you and I'm like, that was the idea. Like, no, man, you're staying here and you're finishing this with me. You have
But
no
you're
free
right.
will.
You're totally right, though. This was the idea.
This was the idea.
And like we need like
but I can like hear in your voice, you're like, why don't we just not? And I'm like, no, it has to be done. It has to be over.
you're right.
This can't continue hanging over our heads.
She's just
Like a younger brother.
She just wants what's best for us. That's all she wants. Look at her face.
What's best for us now is finishing that game.
Good thing we're finding all this gold at the end of the game.
I know. Well, we can.
Whoa. I hope there's not a place to use all this stuff.
How could there be a place to use it? We're in the final dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to polish the final orb, and that's the last
And
thing.
then the game will be over.
And then it'll be over immediately.
It'll be done.
Just finished.
Yeah. Ooh, the sun sword.
Damn. Finding too many things.
By
Why
like.
are they giving me all this money? Like, what? What? What do I care?
They're giving you plenty of items. Do you want more items?
Not really.
Right. Do Final Fantasies do New Game Plus?
You know what? I don't know.
Because if this one has New Game Plus, we're doing it.
No. We found adamant.
Yes!
That's what you were talking about? Yeah, I'm not walking out of here to give it to that dwarf.
No, you're gonna do that after we're done with whatever's happening in here.
This is me being as willfully ignorant as possible, right? Because we just found an item in the dungeon that we're supposed to give to somebody outside of the dungeon.
Yes, the blacksmith in the cave.
And
with
in
the
my
dwarf.
mind, this is the last thing in the game. Like, I've found evidence, clear evidence, that it's not
That
the last
there's
thing in
something
the game.
after this
and I'm
dungeon.
going like, well, I'm not going to leave and go give it to him. I'm
Yeah,
going to
like-
beat the game right now. Like, I'm
I
telling
love
you.
the idea that this in the middle of the last dungeon, and the way that you're supposed to do it is trek back out when you're halfway in.
I mean, is that the craziest thing you've heard with the way this game is designed?
No, you're right. It's
But
not.
I mean, also, I say this, like, I'm not going to leave and give it to him, and you're like, no, you're not. That's not
Right,
how
I
it
was
works.
like, of course you're not. You're gonna do it later.
Not
Wait,
leaving.
really? Are we gonna polish an orb in here?
Probably.
And then...
I don't know, but we're gonna.
Fuck. I don't like that.
Yeah,
Your brain just does this on its own
yeah. This is a
to
human.
save you.
This is like deeply embedded in our evolution to be able to do this. Because when you're in a time of hardship, such as we were, you start using survival instincts.
I don't like that. I don't...
Maybe we'll just be open to the world and we'll just go do that, and then that'll be that. That's hilarious. Note that the chest directly above the pro cape contains a mere cloth, which is seemingly intended to get you to drop a useful piece of armor in favor of trash. Don't fall for it.
Oh, God. Where's the exit?
I mean, what a dirty fucking trick. Like, to throw that at you at the end of the game, fuck you.
We're now in a part of a dungeon that if you don't walk through it in the perfect, correct order, it just keeps repeating again and again. So can you imagine being lost in here for like an hour and then finding the chest?
And then dropping
And then
an
you
item.
have to drop an item to pick up what's in it, and what's in it is a worthless item.
And they did it to you on purpose.
They definitely
like, they
did it on purpose.
They, like... We're doing this to somebody.
That's how they design these big dungeons at the end. Like, you know, every step matters because if you get in a random encounter, it drains resources. So you, like, go into a room. Guess what? this room has a chest in it. Guess what's in the chest? Nothing.
Less resources.
There's been empty chests, and now it's not just an empty chest. It's a chest that forces you to throw away something.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't go like, in the chest is a cloth. Would you like to throw something away?
No, you have to
It's
toss
just like, it's like you can't hold any items, is all it'll
and
tell
you, you can't toss it on the ground, pick it up. Like, you throw it into oblivion. Like, you take it out of your bag, and it
and it
becomes
disappears.
dust, and it's gone.
I'm
Okay.
looking for the final exit.
Okay. The floor says, this is a truly strange floor featuring endlessly repeating terrain with no landmarks or treasure. You can walk forever in any direction, and it's easy to lose your bearings when combat begins. The quickest path to the 5th floor is to go 2 intersections east and 2 intersections south. So you're in some kind
What?
of lost woods, I think.
You could just walk through here for forever until you've just happened to figure it out. Like that.
And you would never know why.
Yeah. How many fights did we get in over the past 2 days?
I was thinking about how, like, it would maybe be possible to get a good number on that. But the idea of even trying
How
to...
would it be possible to watch the whole video?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I mean, going through every bit of this entire recording, that would be crazy. That would be completely crazy
It
to
would
do.
be crazy, and it has been crazy.
It totally has been crazy.
We would sit here and just like watch it happen again. Like in real time.
What did you think was gonna happen? Like, you thought we were just gonna...
At this
like,
point, I mean, it was like late at night. My brain was mush. All I could think about was I kept telling myself, "We're almost done. We're
Right.
almost done."
The idea of like going through all of it is like starting anew.
I mean, when we finished the game eventually, we didn't start putting this together for like
we took a couple of months.
took a couple months,
where we were like,
couldn't
I
even
can't
look
even
at
look
it,
at
yeah.
this.
And unfortunately, I forgot I asked this question. We didn't count any fights.
Yeah, we didn't count any of them.
What would be more tedious, playing this game or making a tally mark every time a battle happened while watching a video?
That's what I was honestly thinking about earlier today.
Like, what?
I don't know the answer to that.
If we were gonna do that, then the podcast would have to be about not playing the game, but about like making a let's play. And then they're just going like, and then... So we beat the game, but that's not what we were trying to do.
Right.
We were trying to make this other thing, and it just got stupider from that. It was
Right.
like...
And then all of a sudden, you're just talking about McDonald's for like 20 minutes.
And then it's just recordings of us watching a recording of us playing the game, and we're going like, oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Lightning erupts from the fiend's ball. So, you have come this far. I, Tiamat, the fiend of the wind,
Will now put an end to your adventure. Yes!
Finally!
Tiamat, do
End
it! Put us out of our misery.
Alright, Tiamat.
Whew.
Well, whatever, that's
You
that.
did it. You did it.
Oh, yeah! Tiamat down.
Polish
Ready
that
for this?
orb.
Here it goes. Get your polishing cloth ready. Just
Ooh.
orb polished.
We gotta go talk to those mages. But first, go to the Cave of Dwarf.
You know what? Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I thought this game was over.
You in your heart knew that there was gonna be something else that you had to do that was like gonna be it wasn't gonna be like all the 4 orbs are polished, there's no like final like what happened with that first orb? That was still hasn't been polished. The black orb? I bet you we needed all 4 orbs to go polish that orb. The 5th orb. The missing orb. There were 5 bats. 5 people were turned into bats. There should be 5 orbs.
Whoa. That's a good point.
I'm on to something.
You are. That I didn't put that together. Where am I? Oh god. Damn it. Okay, it's over here.
We're
The
good at the
idea
game.
that we could get more items to be better,
I say we go talk to the wizards in that town.
they did ask us to talk to them repeatedly.
Yeah, and I tried, and they had nothing new to say to me, and if they don't have anything new to say now, that we have 4 polished orbs, they can go fucking eat a dick. I think we're really getting down to it. I think this is the end of the game.
Has to be.
It's gotta be the end of the
We
game.
polished the orbs. They're
I think-
shiny.
See, 400 years ago, 200 years later, we lost the water, then the earth and the fire followed.
So it's been a process.
It's been happening.
Someone who traveled back 2,000 years is the cause of the world's destruction.
What?
After 2,000 years, he will travel back again. Then again. Then again.
What?
Someone traveled 2,000 years to the past. The 4 fiends were sent forward in time. Those fiends threaten to destroy the world today. What?
Time is repeating.
In order to break the time loop, you must eliminate the enemy who controls from 2,000 years in the past. What does that mean?
What the fuck?
What does that mean?
With the 4 orbs shining again, the time gate can be broken. The true enemy is 2,000 years in the past. I bet you it's at the fucking orb. At the first
that's
dungeon.
gotta be the time gate. The Temple of Friends is
Fiends.
the Temple of Fiends is in the center of the 4 altars. Whatever.
I mean, it's kind of funny because, like, it was so late and we were so like, fuck, the game's not over, that we had no fanfare for, like, we polished all 4 orbs.
I know. Do you remember how excited we were to polish the first one? We were like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
we polished an orb.
Right. And now, like, we polished the final orb and it's like, it's the final orb. And we're like, fuck, there's more.
I know. We go to the circle of sages or whatever, and they're telling us some insane story, and we're like, just stop talking.
Yeah, like, don't
My
tell
only
us, like,
top
and it's
stop
like
here.
this 2,000-year-old story that, like, you haven't mentioned up until this point. Regardless, we head back to the first dungeon where we saved the first princess.
Which
The only princess,
I will say
but-
I'm normally a sucker for a thing where it's like, and now you got to go back to the very beginning.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
you go
I think
back
it
to
was
the beginning.
where you were at. If you had not been playing this incessantly, like if you had been playing this in chunks and you got to that part, you'd be like, this is so cool.
Yeah, probably. That moment probably would have hit a lot harder, but yeah.
But it's because it's midnight and you're like, I thought we were done.
I know.
I thought it was over. But yeah, so we walk into the original temple, and inside there are Ryan, tell me what's in this room.
5 bats.
5 bats.
The 4
Oh,
fiends'
man,
powers
dude.
grew 2,000 years ago.
That actually just gave me goosebumps, and I can't, like, as stupid as it is, that totally
we are
just...
the 5 lost sky warriors.
Oh
400
my
years
God.
ago, we battled against the cause of the world's destruction. You must travel back in time 2,000 years.
Holy shit,
Now
man!
let the orbs shining stand in the time gate. When the 4 orbs cover the black orb in the center of the palace, the time gate can reopen. Help, the fiend's curse turned us into bats.
Holy shit, dude, that actually just, like...
that but again, it's pretty cool, but it's also like it's akin to mermaids growing legs.
No, I know. It's like,
They became bats.
let me have this moment.
No,
we
I'm
can
with you.
analyze it later,
I'm
but
okay,
how
yeah.
little is actually
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
because I can feel that, like,
No, I'm with you.
what's
That
actually
was-
happening. But for this moment, it literally gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, man, I mean, just, like, let me have this.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong. I mean, I'm just like terrible sometimes.
But-
If I'm not having fun, I don't want anyone to have fun, I guess. I don't know.
But
It's
it
like-
really is true that, like, there isn't anything there. Like, that is a dumb, cheap thing.
It comes totally out of nowhere.
But it totally hit me. Like, it really did. I was like, there's 5 bats. What is the deal with that? And then
The
there's
sky
5
people
bats.
mentioned 5 bats, warriors.
And then they were there, and they were there from the beginning.
I know,
and
but
I
at the
remembered
beginning
you
they
saying
don't.
it.
You talk to them and they say key.
Right. They haven't returned the power of speech. They didn't turn back into people. They just became
just
bats
talk
that
now.
could talk.
That we came in here and there were 5 bats and they're the ones...
We're going 2,000 years back in time.
That's cool! As like a finale?
As long as we don't have to walk over this fucking Earth again, the whole place.
I don't know what we're about to walk into. What a weird... Like, that's the thing. It's like, it's not really properly planted.
Well, just any two things in this game that connect together
Are like
it's
such a
it's
revelation.
Like, well, also, I mean, a lot of things that people say stand out. Like, there were 5 heroes, and you're like, what about 4 heroes? And they're like, they all became bats. And you're like, what? Where are those bats?
That is the thing. There have been these lines
Dude,
where we're going
our
like...
asses fucking kicked in here.
Whoa. But that's also, like, really fun. In a game that's completely devoid of, like, any real story, you just kind of go up and talk to people who are vaguely telling you, like, there's a town over there, I don't know. And, like, every now and then somebody will say something where you're just like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's really weird that you said that. But it's not, like, so weird that I don't think it's just, like, a quirk of the game being, like, a weird, like, translation or something. And then when it turns out to be an intentional thing that they were purposely, like, seeding to make sense later is, like, a shock to see in this game after so long of disastrous... nothingness. Like, so long of just incessant fighting. And this garbage.
Dude.
Oh, you have a long way to go on this.
One more time. Play the hits.
Encore. Encore.
Oh, God.
Dude. Are we in a dungeon again?
Oh, are we? We are in a dungeon again.
Definitely a dungeon.
Yeah, this is like a big dungeon, I think.
Yeah, I'm realizing that. Like, I'm getting killed in here. I'm leaving so I can save.
So, in most modern games, at a dungeon like this, they would put a guy out front being like, are you sure you want to go in here? Once you enter it, there's no actual exit. Like, technically there's an exit because there's this crazy spell called Exit where you could just leave a dungeon at any time. But once you go 2,000 years into the past, there's no walking out.
Yeah, this is a total, like, point of no return.
This
And
does
you can't
nothing like that. You
yeah.
just walk into it and you're like, am I in a dungeon?
Bro, are you, like, ready for a big one?
A big one? Are you ready for a big one?
I don't know. I need a second.
How big of a big one? Should
Well-
we do this next time?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's midnight now.
Fuck, I can't stay up for I can't stay up till 3 again. I can't do it.
Okay.
It wrecked me.
Yeah. Let's... I think we have to do this tomorrow because I'm only reading the first 2 sentences and it says, the final dungeon in the game is, appropriately, also the longest. It has 8 floors, and you will explore each fully.
No, I
So
can't.
just
no.
reading that sentence, I was like,
No.
it's midnight now. I don't think we should try to do this tonight. We polished all the
I
orbs.
can't do it.
Alright.
You win again, game. Fuck. Of course there was some third act nonsense bullshit Do you remember when you were like sarcastically saying, oh, I'm sure there's a twist at the end of the game?
So we decided to finish for the night and record our thoughts.
We can't keep doing this.
No, and we won't. Will we? I don't.
No,
I
we
said that
will.
on mic.
You know we will.
Shit, I said that on mic. We're gonna go to bed. We're gonna regroup.
We're gonna persevere.
We're gonna finish this final dungeon.
We'll be done. Yeah.
And then it will be in our past.
Mm-hmm.
Forever on our permanent record.
Forever. Recorded in its entirety.
I'm glad to have a record of what we've been putting ourselves through. What we've been doing for nobody. Certainly not for ourselves.
Yeah.
No one can know about this. Nobody can hear this.
That's the name of the podcast right there.
Nobody can know.
No one can know about this.
And that's episode 5.
We brought you right back around, all the way back to the beginning of the podcast.
It's a full circle.
Full journey, and now you're ready to finish it off with us.
We got a finale next week, and I hope it's a good one.
That'll be the end of Final Fantasy 1.
Yep. And then on to Season 2.
On to Season 2.
Anyway, find us at nooneknknowabouthis.com, nocatpodcast.com. That's NOCKAT. That's our shorthand for the show. And, on Facebook and Twitter and iTunes, you get it. You know what to do. You listen to podcasts. You know what we...
You've been on the internet before.
You know what we need you to do.
You can Google anything about us and you can find us.
And also,
you found this podcast.
Yeah, you found this podcast.
You're resourceful, and I believe in you. And if you want to talk to me, you can find me.
And you know what else? You can review and give your thoughts.
You can do that too. I believe that you can do it.
I believe you can do it. Wow. Just going through all this stuff, it puts me
we
back in
so
it.
tired.
We're
I was about to say, you're talking about this, this game, but
I've been watching a lot of it.
We just spent all day long watching ourselves play it, and it's draining.
Our own tiredness is infecting us.
Yeah. Overall though, I'd say this whole project, I've had
This
has
been one of the greatest things I've ever done.
Yeah, I can't believe it's one of the greatest journeys of my life. And we're closing in on the end of the first season here. And thank you for coming along with us.
Yeah, thank you. And now, as always, here's a little taste of next week on No One Can Know About This. There's scripts we should be finishing.
They don't need to know that.
The work we put in. Okay, alright. I'm gonna hit stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit stop.